Welcome, beautiful souls. This recent new moon has brought in new realities, and the current solar storms are shaking off the old realities, your old identities, releasing patterns, beliefs, relationships, jobs, anything that cannot survive in 5D frequencies. Are you ready for this quantum leap? I am Tracy Canberra, a multidimensional guide and divine channel. And today we're answering the question I get in so many intuitive soul coaching sessions. How do I know if I'm ready? How do I know if I'm ready for this new identity that is calling to me? Or this new soul mission that I'm dreaming about? Or this new relationship? Or a completely different career path? And here's what your soul wants you to know. Being ready is a choice. You choose to step in and find out if you're ready or not. There's no certification that arrives in the mail. There's not even a divine whispered message that says, "Congrats, love, you're now officially prepared for your next chapter." Welcome to your multidimensional journey. And today we're diving deep into being ready. We're going to talk about your readiness, the identity shifts, Soul Mission 2.0, and why waiting to feel ready might actually be the thing that's keeping you feeling stuck. So let's get this party started. First off, ask yourself, and be honest here, how many times have you thought or even said out loud, "I'll do that when I'm ready," or "I'm just not ready yet," or "I feel it coming, but it's not here yet"? I hear this all the time in my client sessions. "I'm not ready to leave this job yet. I'm not ready yet to trust this relationship. I am not yet ready to share my gifts with the world." And listen, I get it. I really do. I mean, been there, done that. There's something that feels responsible, spiritual even, about waiting until you're ready, right? It feels mature, it feels wise, and it feels safe. But here's what I've come to understand through my own ascension journey and through working with thousands of beautiful client souls over the last 2 decades. Readiness is not a destination. Readiness is something that happens in the doing, not before it. You know the phrase, it's about the journey, not the destination. And being ready is multidimensional. Your soul doesn't operate on the same dimension as your ego mind. Your ego mind wants to have all the information, all the skills, all the confidence before it takes the first step. But your soul? Your soul says, "Jump, baby. Build your wings on the way down. Trust me, you've got this encoded in you already. You will fly." Okay, now let's shift to your current identity, which I guarantee you is changing so rapidly right now. You're feeling it, and it's happening. You're in this human experience, and you've built an identity. Maybe you're the responsible one, or the giver, or the creative, or the logical one, or even the spiritual seeker. You've got this whole construct of who you are, and it's been useful. It's gotten you here. But one of the things that the pandemic showed us for years is that we need to shift identities for each experience. Identity surfing is like changing your clothes. Is it snowing? Change into boots. You going out to dinner? Put on that night out dress or that suit. Day off? Grab the sweats or athleisure wear. I love that word, athleisure. The point is that when your activities change, your environment changes, you often choose to change outfits. Well, in 5D and beyond, identities work the same way. They're tailored to the current experience, and they shift easily as you shift into new experiences. That's why lately you're feeling so called to a new version of yourself. Maybe even a version of you that's bolder or more visible. Or maybe it's a version that's softer, more vulnerable, more divine feminine. Maybe it's a version that doesn't fit into any of the boxes you've been living in, and you're just not sure if you're ready to step into it, to claim it. And your current identity? Okay, well, it's freaking out because identity death is real. It's an actual process. Grief, anger, everything. And it can feel terrifying because you're essentially being asked to let go of the known version of yourself before you fully become this new version. It's like you're standing in this in between space. We call it the void. You're no longer who you were, but you're not yet who you're becoming. That's what 2026 is all about. And your ego mind is screaming, "This is not safe. Go back to what we know." But here's the thing, you can't go back. You can't. The past is over. It's complete. Once you've felt your soul guidance and wisdom, you can't unsee it and you can't unfeel it. I mean, you can try to ignore it. You can try to stuff it down, but it's 2026, baby, and your soul has put you on the fast track. No denying, no dilly-dallying. It's time to fly. So the question isn't, am I ready to become this new version of myself? Nope. The question is, am I willing to choose this new version even before I know how to be that, even before I feel ready? Okay, let's switch to Soul Mission 2.0 because so many of us are completing our previous soul mission and expanding into the new one. And often it's quite difficult to see, to sense, to know. That's why I connect in with your soul and spirit team in a soul coaching session to ask your soul, what is your Soul Mission 2.0? Are you done with the old one? And remember, your new soul mission is most always not going to be this grand, clear, perfectly packaged thing. Like one day you're going to wake up and your soul energy fills the room and you hear in your head, your new soul mission is here and it is this. And this is exactly how to step into it, to live it right now. Nope. Intuition is far more quiet. The connection to your soul and your spirit guides is most often felt or known rather than seen or heard. And you can't feel it when you're in 3D, when you're in fear or lack or doubt or worry or concern. Nope. Your intuition, your soul wisdom and guidance is felt in the quiet, peaceful alignment, like during a walk in the woods or during meditation or even during Tai Chi or yoga or dance. And it's not always, you're going to be a writer or a healer or change the world with an invention. Nope. Sometimes it's to learn to receive, to break patterns, to be brave enough to walk away from what is no longer aligned, even when you don't know what's next. And yes, sometimes your soul mission does involve specific work in the world. Teaching, creating, healing, building, leading. But even that unfolds in layers. It's not usually this lightning bolt of clarity. It's more like your soul gives you clues, hints, whispers that get louder when you actually start following them. And here's where the choosing to be ready piece comes in. You don't wait until you understand your entire soul mission before you take the first step. Nope. You take the first step and the next step reveals itself. You say yes to the whisper and your ascension path lights up a little bit more. Your Soul Mission 2.0 is not waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to be willing. And this year, starting right now, people, your soul is nudging you, sometimes even like throwing you, it seems, into your new soul mission. Okay, let's shift directions now and talk about relationships, because this is another place where my soul coaching clients and even some of my soul sphere community get caught in the "I'm not ready yet" trap. I'm not ready for a conscious relationship. I'm not healed enough. I need to do more work on myself first. There's this idea that you have to be 100% healed, 100% whole, 100% evolved before you're worthy of or ready for a beautiful relationship. And that's just not how it works. Remember the last episode about choosing to be complete? You choose to be complete with your healing, with anything that was blocking you calling in a new relationship, a new job, creating your future identity as someone in a 5D love relationship and becoming that new identity. Because, and this is a biggie, people, the truth is relationships, especially conscious, emotionally mature, spiritually minded relationships, they're all part of your ascension journey. They're not something you wait to have until after you're done evolving. No, they are part of the journey. And yes, that journey starts at a higher frequency than you were in last year, but you are still ascending, experiencing, learning, and growing in that new container of the new relationship. Because a 5D relationship, whether it be work, friendship, or love, will actually accelerate your growth in ascension because it mirrors back to you what still needs to be loved and integrated and released. And that's not a problem, it's the point. And I'm going to say here, I do not mean twin flames. Suffering at the hands of another is so 2025, people. We're done with that. Love is meant to be easy. Mirroring in 2026 is done with loving, compassionate communication. And on top of that, we are seeing so many more deep soul connections this year because we are seeing the bigger picture. Our awareness is expanding. So this idea of a twin flame is going to be really difficult to maintain when you find yourself deeply recognizing 10 different people. Male, female, old, young. I'll talk about it in a future episode, but it's a big thing and it's coming. Okay, I want to remind you that even when you choose to feel complete, there are echoes. Things surface for us to release with love because we realize we no longer need to go down that path to react or protect or defend. Remember, we're complete and we're ready to step into a higher version of self. So witness the echoes and let them flow on by because your soul is asking you now, are you willing to be seen? Are you willing to be vulnerable? And again, it's happening in every encounter, every environment, friendships, community, family, work, because your soul is stepping you up. And you're going to feel the call to step into this new identity if you're not already feeling it. So you can resist or attach, which keeps you in the 3D side of the great split, which is happening so strongly right now. Or you can breathe, you can flow, and you can fly. That's the 5D way. So about now, you're asking, okay, but how do I do this? How do I be willing? How do I actually choose to be ready when truthfully, I feel so unready? First, your soul wants you to understand that choosing to be ready doesn't mean you won't feel fear. Choosing to be ready doesn't mean doubt disappears. It doesn't mean you suddenly have all the answers. It doesn't dissolve the discomfort. No, choosing to be ready means you take a step forward anyway. You take the next aligned step. Even with that voice in your head saying, who do you think you are? Because taking that next step is faith over fear, baby. And I always say, as long as the faith stays in front of the fear, we're good. We just keep moving forward. So here's what this looks like in real life. You choose to be ready for that new career by updating your resume, even though your ego mind is telling you nobody wants you. You choose to be ready for your Soul Mission 2.0 by sharing your first post or teaching your first class or making your first video, even though it feels vulnerable or messy or even embarrassing sometimes. You choose to be ready for love by opening your heart just a little bit more. You choose to be ready for your new identity by trying on new behaviors, new ways of speaking, new boundaries, even when they feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable, because they are not new. They were simply forgotten when we went through the veil and landed on this 3D version of Earth. In truth, these new expressions and inspired actions are coming from your soul. They're awakening you to the next level of your multidimensional self, which does exist. So remember, you find out if you're ready by doing the thing, not before. You build the evidence of your readiness through faith and trust and belief and action, through actually showing up as the new version of self your soul is guiding you to become. And the last message today from your soul is that you don't need anyone's permission to step into your new identity, your soul mission 2.0, your new reality. Not your families, not your friends, not even your past selves. You are truly a multidimensional being, and that means you get to choose. You get to decide. You choose to say, this is who I am now. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I have now. And something I've told my clients for years is that when you change, your inner circle is going to flip the F out. Some people won't get it. They'll be confused or uncomfortable. But some people, they'll be upset or threatened by your transformation. Because 3D humans, they don't like when they're no longer getting what they're used to getting from you. And you know what? That's okay. Because that's not a you problem. That's a them problem. Your responsibility is to honor thyself. Honor what's true for you. Honor what's calling you forward. Honor the ascension that's happening within you. And the beautiful thing is, when you give yourself permission to transform, you give everyone around you permission too. You become the example, the living proof that change is possible, that higher levels of happiness exist, that you don't have to stay stuck in old patterns just because they're familiar. So remember, you don't have to wait to feel ready. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be certain. You just have to be willing. Choose to take the next step. Choose to try on that new identity. Choose to say yes to what's calling you, even if you don't know how it's all going to unfold. So maybe today you choose to be ready, not because you have all the answers, but because you're willing to find them. Not because your ascension path is clear, but because you're willing to take the next step anyway. Your new identity, your soul mission 2.0, a conscious 5D romantic relationship. They're not waiting for a more prepared version of you. They are other timelines and realities waiting for the version of you who says, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing to find out what's possible. And when you make that choice, you step into those timelines, those realities. Your world shifts. So let me know in the comments, are you ready? What are you choosing today? Do you feel your soul nudging you? Or perhaps throwing you off a cliff because they know you can fly? Because I'll tell you, Ascension is really speeding up and we're feeling it. Even those of us that were in the cocoon are coming out and flying like the butterfly of transformation that we are. And if you feel ready to connect with your soul and see the bigger picture, discuss your soul mission 2.0, see the next step, book a soul coaching session. I thank you so much for your comments, your likes, your subscribes, your hypes. Until next time, beautiful souls, thank you for ascending with me, and I'll be back soon.